before I start this episode, I just want to let everyone know that I'm a complete lightweight and I get horrifically smashed. So, listener beware. It ain't pretty. Have fun with the episode. Hello everybody! Welcome back to Our Relationship 2, where a bunch of friends and married peoples and folks sit down and talk about our relationship to things. My name is Felix.
And I'm Ludwig.
And today, on the most tiredest of days, we are going to be talking about something that is dear to not just ourselves, but to a lot of men in our lives. And what is that thing, Ludwig?
That, my friends, is beer!
This is the sound of me opening a cold one.
Moment. You ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Yeah!
What did you get?
Alright. So, yeah.
What did you get?
Currently, I hold in my hands a Flensburger Pilsner. Which is a beer from the northern part of Germany, to be exact, from the coast.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, totally. They make pretty bitter, not too sweet beers, as I like them.
I got myself, and I'm very proud of this, and I hope you are too. Got myself a nice Weissbier.
Ein Weissbier.
Taking a photo right now.
Yeah,
I took a photo.
Southern Germany beer.
Hacker Shore?
Oh, that's good.
Der Bayern. Is it? I have no idea. I never tried it. Anyways, Chos.
That is the. Let me lie, but I think it's a Bavarian house brew.
Okay.
But it's very, very famous all over Germany, and I think it might also come from Austria. I have no idea. My man, I had 2 hours of sleep tonight.
Hey man, I did a lot of working out today, and it's a warm day. Anyways, cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that looks horrible. That sounds horrible.
We can't really tinkle our beers, but oh well. That will do for now. Anyways, our relationship to beer. You have a more interesting relationship than I do. I know I'm not talking to the mic, and I'm very sorry, but I'm trying to pour my beer and not spill it. Your relationship is interesting compared to mine, I think, because you actually make your own.
No, that's not correct. I never made my own beer because I was always a little bit afraid about the process of making beer.
Okay, but you know a lot about the process.
Yeah, I am generally informed about how it works. And that scares me.
FYI, Ludwig did work at a bar for a few years.
Yeah, that's actually true.
I remember one of my favorite memories of the two of us, and Cheryl and Grace's as well, was when you came to visit us in Canada, and you brought in like 6 or 8 bottles of Deutschland beer, and you gave us like a history lesson and a sample session for all of them. That was incredible. I still hold that memory very close to my heart.
I think there's still a picture somewhere around, which Grace made, but I don't know exactly where it went to be.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Here in Germany, alcohol, or the rules about alcohol, the laws about alcohol are way more relaxed than in Canada.
Really, eh?
Also, the taxes are way lower. Like, it's not expensive to actually make beer.
What is the age limit for people in Germany?
The age limit for drinking alcohol in Germany, we have 2 sorts of age limits. We have the stuff which is just standard fermented, and we have the stuff which is distilled.
Oh.
And everything which is just done and fermented and therefore will not exceed like what is wine, like 10%, is allowed to be, you are allowed to drink it past 16 years. Like when you're 16 years or older, you can drink wine and beer.
16?
16.
Wow. That's very generous.
And everything harder you are allowed to drink when you are 18 and older.
That's kind of interesting because most places it's just a one age limit, but I'm assuming they want you to start drinking beer as quickly as possible, eh?
I mean, the German state earns a lot of taxes on that, so...
I had an interesting relationship with beer because for a long time I didn't actually want to drink beer. This is when I was younger and I was still in martial arts, and I had a thing where, I had to keep my body as healthy as possible. I didn't want to taint it. Excuse me. Ooh, I gotta hear plenty of those. I didn't want to taint it with alcohol or, ruin the purity. It was a really silly notion, and I was young too. I didn't really know any better. And I've also seen how people act when they drink a lot of alcohol, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like that, But it wasn't until it was before I moved to Bristol, and I remember thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to be in a place where there are pubs every 30 seconds within walking distance, and pub crawls are very normal. I might as well get started now. And that's how I got started drinking beer. And, I had a beer. It was, what was it? It was a pulled pork sandwich and a nice beer. And it was a good combo.
Yeah.
What was your first drinking experience? Like, what was it? Like, not even those things where your parents will give you, oh, here's a little bit of alcohol, blah, blah, blah. When are you able to remember when you actually sat down, ordered a glass of beer for yourself with like a nice meal and said, this is it? Because that was for me.
I think you're overselling the whole process. Because for Germans, if your first glass of beer, I don't know how you get it, but it's mostly under shady circumstances because somebody gives it to you even before you are 16. And in my case, it was my uncle Georg. We had some kind of family party, and I don't know what exactly was happening, but I hang out with one or two of my cousins, and we were a bit of rowdy, and Georg came up and and talked with us to please keep it quiet, and he handed us one bottle of beer, and be like, here you go, and and I remember that we tried the beer, and the beer, it was for my cousin, it was also the first experience as far as I'm aware. We tried the beer, and it was a warm summer evening, and the beer was not exactly cold.
Oh, warm beer, no!
Mm-hmm. And on top of that, I was like, that's not exactly mine, but I will keep it for later. So I put the, the bottle cap back on and put that thing into my, somewhere in one of my cupboards. To hide it from my parents. Probably didn't even care about that. So a couple of days later I came back to it, and it was the middle of the summer, it was warm and it was stale and it was disgusting.
No, Ludwig. That sounds awful.
Well, yeah, but it really started when I was turned 16. Because every time I come to Canada, I'm amazed that you have your separate alcohol stores. And I know it's pretty standard for many countries.
It's a bit of a weird system, though, because so we have the beer store, which just sells beer. And then you have LCBO, which is more of like a general liquor store. They do all the fancy wines and like the hard liquors, but they also sell beer. And then now grocery stores even sell beer. So...
Now even your grocery stores.
Yeah.
If they get to German levels, let me know. Because I don't think you ever have been inside of a German grocery store, right? Well, we have aisles full of beer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We only have like the one aisle in the back corner somewhere, and that's it. That's it for beer. And it's all just like, here's some Coors Light. Here's some Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Nope.
Not even any of the good stuff,
meters of beers and caskets.
Remember when I showed you that that no-name beer brand? That was amazing. I don't know if you've heard of it, but in Canada we have a brand called No Name. It's basically like, do you want food that even the discount brand would even buy from because it's cheaper than the discount brand? That's the No Name brand. And they, for a public stunt, did a No Name beer brand. It's just this awful box of yellow with the word beer on it. It's just like, oh no.
I gotta say, this is genius marketing, because it will always stand out and you will always know what you're buying. Like, I remember the first time Felix showed me the no name stuff. We found a can of poutine. It just literally said poutine gravel. Gravel?
Gravy.
Thanks. And I was like, this looks sus as hell.
This is shady as shit. But hey, it's like $2.
Exactly.
Oh man.
I mean, in Germany we have our own nondescript brand as well. Like,
okay, what is that one? What's that one? Did they do it?
Actually, it is a bit more neutral. You know what you're buying. You know this is the cheapest quality and this is the cheapest how you will get it. But it's called Ja. So simply yes. With like exclamation mark.
Yeah.
10 years ago, you would never have seen any kind of commercial about it anywhere, because people just knew it is there, it is cheap, and you grab it when you need it.
Wow.
Yeah, it ran for itself. Nowadays, like the first time I actually saw a commercial was like 5-6 years back or so.
Now, did they have a Ja?
Like, what?
Did they have a Ja branded beer?
No, they did not. They are firmly in the food, solely food and drink stuff. They never went into alcohol. We have our own nondescript alcohol things here.
You have nondescript alcohol? Oh, man.
There's actually one which...
Is it called Nine?
Nine!
What are you doing? Don't buy this. But people buy it anyway. Can you imagine?
But the nondescript brand here is 5.0.
Is that the alcohol percentage?
Yeah. It's
oh my
5%
god!
Alcohol, and it says so on the beer, and it only, as far as I'm aware, it only comes in cans, which for Germany is pretty unusual. You pay more. Yeah, you pay more refunds for a can than you would pay for a glass bottle.
So you're paying more for the can than the bottle?
Exactly.
Huh? But the beer's still cheap enough.
Basically, you buy cans if you want to have ease of comfort. Because they're just easier to transport, they don't break that easily. So people usually buy it when they want to go for festivals, for example. And 5.0 is one of the festival beers.
Oh, okay, festival beers.
So it's cheap, you can drink it, it's not like it has a good taste.
Okay.
It's not. Now, it doesn't stand out. It's not a great beer, but it works. It's better than some of the alternatives out there, like Oettinger.
Now, here's my question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Does Germany also overprice their beer when it comes to festivals and big sporting events?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, how bad is it?
Whoever owns the festival has the right to sell the beer. So.
How bad is it? How bad is it?
This is. I never really went into a football stadium, and I rarely went to festivals inside of Germany. I'm more going to the Woodstock over in Poland. Poland. Sorry. The Woodstock Reloaded, basically. It's the Polish version of the Woodstock Festival, and as far as I'm aware, it's bigger. Mm-hmm. Like. We're talking 700, 800,000 guests per year.
Wow.
And the whole thing, now get this, is free.
Whoa.
Yep. And the beer is fairly priced.
Oh, well, that's good.
So people come there with little money and still get absolutely shit-faced.
Of course. You gotta get shit-faced in the festival.
But festivals inside of Germany, the big ones are atrociously expensive. Like when we talk about Wacken, open air, or Rock am Ring, you pay somewhere north of 100, 200 euros for that, which is...
Euros? Oh,
euros,
wow.
Yeah.
That's
the last time I checked, you
expensive.
paid 250 euros for a Wacken ticket. And in Canadian money, this is...
Like 350 or something like that, I think.
400.
400? Double that?
400
Oh,
Canadian.
gosh.
For like 5 days. And then still the beer on the area will probably cost at least 2 to 3 euros.
Hang on, that's expensive for you?
That is expensive for us.
How much is it?
I know.
Okay, how much is a six-pack of beer in Germany?
What do you want? Let's go from the other direction.
Something nice, like the not cheap, but something that has a nice flavor, not overly expensive. It's a step up from the usual doldrum stuff.
Yeah, that would be something like Radeberger or Hasseröder. You would pay around 5 euros for that.
Okay.
Without refund money.
And
even the refund money for the bottles is just like another 50 cents or so.
Because I'm just trying to see how much they charge beer in games. Yeah, $5. Yeah. They're introducing $5 beer. I think it used to be a lot more expensive. Anyways, you got to talk a little bit about your history with beer, especially when it comes to how you used to work at a bar, and how did that shape your discerning taste for beer? Because for me, I know Bristol is exactly what happened when it comes to my developing taste for beer, and just finding out what. I know it's not the best, but you know what? Can't fault them for their cider. The Bristol cider is very good, but I'll tell that later. But I want you to tell us a little bit about how working at a bar, especially for you, shaped your experience with this delicious alcoholic beverage.
Well, to be completely fair, the bar never really shaped my taste in beers.
What kind of bar was it? Was it like a sports bar? Was it a night bar?
No, it was a standard pub, you would say. It was what is a good term for it? For everybody who knows, Germany was split in two for like 40 years, 20, 30 years ago.
Yes.
And this bar celebrated the eastern part of Germany. In the food, in the drinks, in everything. I just was the cook there. I came for every Friday, every Saturday for 3 hours. Afterwards, I could sit down, drink a beer, have a good time, and then leave. It was not a good job, but in a certain part of my life, it literally saved my ass.
Hey man, I don't blame you. Sometimes you have those jobs, and I know that I've had my fair share of that. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good job, even though the bar, as far as I worked there, some days were very crazy, but the longer I worked there, the less less people came in, basically. So in the end, the bar just went into the ground. And we all got our release letter the day when it was due, so via SMS.
What do you mean by that?
We were fired one day before the bar went into the ground. Via SMS.
What? Via SMS? So they texted you?
Yep.
Wow, that is terrible.
But don't forget, we all work black there. I'm
God.
80% sure that we all work black. But this is Berlin for you. Anyways, what the nice thing which I had back there, which I never really had before, is that I could sit down regularly with a nice cold one, which has been served to me. Which for me, is not a regular thing. I'm not a bar person. I'm not a person who likes to go into the pub crawl or to go big partying or get super shit-faced. I had my few selected phases of being shit-faced, but that is enough. Like, waking up once in your own puke, that's completely enough for me. Thank you. Don't need it again.
You have seen me completely destroyed on alcohol once.
Oh yeah. When you tried to play goblins. Kobolds.
Cobalt, yeah, that one was amazing.
Yeah.
So how did you get to know all these beers then, and how did you develop your taste? Because if it's not the bar, especially since they fired you via text, be like, sorry, good luck. What got you into it? Was it a family member? Was it just a life experience? Just drinking different types of beer in your life, or?
I cannot fully answer the question how I got interested in beer, other than Germany having a big beer culture. But I remember I was in internship school. Not internship school, that's the wrong... boarding school. And right between me, also the boarding school, and my school itself, it was like a 3 minutes walk, was a Kaufland, which is a giant, or for German standards, a giant grocery store. And they had 2 or 3 ales full of beer. And as a 16, 17 years old, I enjoyed just going down there and discovering beers. Every time I went in there and I was like, okay, today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday, so probably people from the boarding school, they will they will want to party a little bit. So let's just pick some beers. And most of my class people had a fixed set of beers which I liked. I had mine too, but I always try to include a couple of others just to see what I liked, like from regarding of labels, regarding of names, which I had never heard before, regarding alcohol content, because Germany can produce some atrociously strong beers. So yeah, and I just tried around, but it was still very German and very localized.
That's good.
So my first new experience in regards of beers was later on, when I came to Berlin, and I had my first contact with English beers on a family trip to Scotland and back again. Yeah, and we drove all the... Yeah, Scotland! I had English beers before, but only here and there, and I don't know if I like them. I have to be completely sure. For all English listeners out there, please don't take this as a personal insult. I grew up in Germany. We have
take it as a personal insult.
It is. If that is,
I can give you Ludwig's address.
Yes, please. And you can either find it out or invite me for a good German beer around here. Also, new friends.
Yay, new friends. Speaking of British beer, yeah, that was when I really started having a taste for it. Yeah. I mean, like I said, before I moved up, I had the beer with the I'm already like, I'm a beer and a half in, and I'm already tipsy. Anyways, I had a beer with a pulled pork sandwich, and that was a good... What?
I'm not going to say anything.
Don't forget who's editing this episode, Ludwig. I can hear everything that you said. I will get you. I know your address. Anyways,
do you?
Beer and pulled pork sandwich.
You do.
Great,
yes,
fine. Good combo. Yeah, come on. It was a good combo, and I enjoyed it. But then when I moved to Bristol, that was when I was like, oh, wow, look at this place. Look at all these pubs. This is kind of neat. I'm sure they'll look at me funny if I don't grab a pint with my meals. And our good friend Anton he actually came by to visit within the week or two that I moved up for the first time. And he took me to a pub, and he's like, yeah, try out a cider. You might like it. I was like, what's a cider? Never heard of this. Yeah, so it's made out of apples. I'm like, wait, what? Really? And then we had, I forgot the brand. But
Strongbow?
Yeah, Strongbow. That's it. Strongbow cider. That kind of changed my life. That was like, oh, wow, this is delicious. I can keep drinking this. I know people will hate on cider, especially people that are in Toronto. Because I remember when I came back from Bristol, yeah, I'll have a cider. People looked at me funny. My friend looked at me funny. He's like, are you sure you want that? I was like, yeah, of course. And they put a glass in front of me with ice and a can next to it. What? And I'm like, no, what is this? This is not cider. What happened? I was so sad. And the cider tasted like apple juice. It was gross.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was terrible. But Bristol, Bristol apple cider is delicious and really worth trying if you're ever in that part of the country, because they are the king of cider. They even have a boat. I'm not kidding you. There's a boat out there that is like permanently docked. It's called the Apple, and all they will do is serve up really craft artisanal Bristol ciders. Some ciders, they will only serve you in a half pint because it is that strong. It is crazy, and it is amazing. But it was around that time that I started trying out, let's try out all these different beers as well. Let's try out, Pilsners, Weissbier. Let's try out a stout. It was part of the culture there, and they didn't look at you funny, and they were very considerate as well. If you didn't want to drink a lot, half pint is totally fine. But drinking beer is a regular part of life in Britain. I remember one time I went to this big record store festival where you could just go in and shop for stuff. And I remember seeing these two people sitting at the restaurant at 10 a.m. eating their meals with a pint. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, that's really early.
No, this is, in the southern parts of Germany, this is pretty standard. We call it Frühschoppen.
Wait, what?
It's basically... Yeah, they even have it as business culture. Like, you come to work, you do your first couple of hours, and then you take all of your colleagues, and as like a team-building exercise, you go to the pub and drink beer.
Team-building exercise is drinking beer? Are you kidding me?
If you're shit-faced together, you at least you don't hold out on each other, I mean, let's be real. It's probably not shit-faced, it's just having a beer together as something which you just
Why don't we have that here? Can you imagine how much office politics can just be fixed if you just get shit-faced together and drink and, get out your frustrations, not with a fist fight, but just drinking more.
Hey, boss, I want to have a race. Oh yeah, drink me on the table, you get it.
Can you imagine? That would solve everything. I've heard there's some sort of legend. I'm not sure if it's true, but I've read about this somewhere. There's some sort of legend where I forgot who did it, but some ancient culture firmly believe that if they're about to present an idea or debate an idea between the leaders of this ancient culture, they have to do it twice. Once sober and once drunk. Totally shit-faced. And if they can agree on both times on the same principle, yeah, we'll do it. And then if they get drunk and they say, yeah, let's do it, then it's a really good idea.
Oh, no.
I think it's genius. I don't know why we haven't adapted that.
I would say let's go with a drunk idea first, and then go with a not drunk idea second. Because we all know everybody who likes to drink alcohol and everybody who likes to drink a little bit more alcohol than is exactly necessary to have a good time knows what kind of ideas alcohol brings into the world.
Yeah. Man, I'm already feeling it, that Ludwig. I don't know if I can keep going.
Yeah,
I'm feeling it. I am a lightweight. I've been told by a lot of gay men, no joke, that I'm a cheap date.
You are a cheap date, Felix. You womanizer on this earth. I would like to have a word with these gay men.
Oh my god!
I myself can feel it as well. Probably because I didn't eat much today. Probably because I had a night shift, and I desperately needed that beer.
Oh no!
Every time I'm drinking, I want to smoke as well. The problem is I'm trying to quit smoking right now.
Good for you. I'm proud of you. Just drink more.
Thank you, but it's not exactly easy, especially if I'm drunk. Then my body is like,
Ludwig.
yes.
Ludwig,
I need right now?
Ludwig.
I need them Goddamn poisoned air.
No, Ludwig, just drink more. You're gonna
Just drink more.
Then you're gonna be fine.
Then I'm gonna be fine. Felix, what would you rather see me die of? Cancer or liver failure?
Oh my god.
You have to explain that to my wife. I'm dead.
Grace, I'm really sorry. I murdered your husband because I encouraged him to drink more than is absolutely necessary, and he was only surviving on 2 hours of sleep. Sorry, not sorry. I live in this address.
Maybe I'm just overdoing it. I had a couple of extra sleep today, but it was just interrupted sleep, as you know.
That is, dude, that's totally fine.
It's not a good substitute.
So, okay, then I want to bring it around. Since we're still talking about beer, and we went on a huge tangent. I will, like I said, I never forgot the fact that you brought in 6-7 beers from Germany.
Yeah, we talked about that.
To us, yeah. Please tell that story.
Basically, these kinds of beer tours I like to do to people who are not exactly from Germany. The first kind of beer tour, or are not in Germany. The first beer tour which I actually did was a couple of years back, even before I came over to Canada to meet you. My big brother was studying in Eugene in Portland, Oregon.
Oh,
in Oregon,
okay.
In the States.
Wow.
For half a semester, for half a year. And I visited him at that time. And I knew he had many good things over there. He had a girlfriend, he had good food, he had lots of sports, had a lot of nice studies. But the good thing which he was missing was a good, proper German beer. So I brought him a couple of bottles of beers. And we sat down with his girlfriend and we talked about these beers. And this was the first time I made a beer tour. Since then, I like to do that with people who are not from Germany to just show them beers. So I picked 6 of the beers which were, in my eyes, standard beers of Germany. Like, we had 2 Pilsners, we had 2 Hefes, and we had 2 mixed beers. And Germany is, don't get me wrong, Germany is not big on mixed beers, not traditionally at least. There is one variant which is allowed, which is so-called Radler or Alster, which is beer mixed with lemonade.
Yep, Radlers, we have these here too. In fact, we even have... No, keep going. I can't even talk right now.
Then we have others which are more modern, which are more like mixed with cola and some weird stuff like energy drink. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. They're trying to replicate the pub mixturing, the pub mixturing thing, like Jaeger bombs and things like that. Yeah, they're trying to replicate that. Can you imagine?
Ooh, Jaeger bombs. I could go for a Jaeger bomb right now.
Oh my god. Anyways, I didn't realize you did this for other people before. So these are the Ludwig beer tour.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Why don't you like trademark this and just make it a thing?
Because I like to do that with close friends.
Okay.
Like, you have witnessed me on the beer tour, which I made for you.
I want you to set up a Squarespace thing. Not sponsored yet, by the way. Squarespace, hit us up. Set up a Squarespace thing called the Ludwig Beer Tour. Well, all you do is handpick certain German beers, send it to corners all around the world with a little card with you describing each beer, lovingly handwritten, Can you imagine? Come on, you could make some serious cash on that.
In this case, I would probably go for the craft beers of Germany.
Yeah, are there a lot?
We don't have as big as a craft beer scene as in Northern Americas. But we have it, and it's getting bigger, and I enjoy seeing what they're producing. I have one craft beer with me today.
What is that one? What's that one?
Störtebeker Atlantic Ale. It says it's an ale, but basically it's an IPA. It tastes like an IPA, behaves like an IPA. It breaks my face like an IPA. I love it. But yeah, as much as I like the German beers and much as I love the German beer culture, there's one beer or kind of beer which I really loved over in Canada or the States, and that's the IPAs.
We do IPAs here really well, for sure.
Oh, yes, you do. I heard that IPAs are basically white guys, what is it, Uggs boots?
What? The white guys oh, God, no. You ruined IPAs for me, Ludwig.
Yeah, because every white guy apparently is talking about, oh yeah, have you tried IPAs? And, well, I'm the white guy in the group. So I'm like, oh, guilty as charged.
You've ruined it for me.
But
Ludwig, what have you done?
I am sorry, but don't forget where I'm coming from. I'm coming from an area where beer fundamentally tastes different. Our beers tend to be sweeter, more malty, more deep, basically, in taste. And the first time I had a pale ale, and afterwards my first IPA, that was a revelation. I went 24 years of my life through life, and this was something completely different in the taste of beer. That was beautiful.
Okay, fair enough. But man, don't say it's Ugg boots, dude.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I guess
man.
to you, I will not be one of these beer connoisseurs who are like, yeah, you have to keep it exactly at 4 degrees Celsius.
Could you imagine drinking it like wine? You know, you have the wine tasting thing where you swish it around in your mouth, and then you look at the color, you smell it. I'm sure there's people that do that for beer, but
no, what? You're gonna lose the carbon dioxide. What are you talking about?
That's true. You have a good point.
Yeah, you put it in the glass, you admire the color, you admire the foam, and then you put it in your mouth and swallow.
Speaking of foam. That was something, oh God. I don't know what I want to talk about anymore, dude. I am already, like, horrifically tipsy. I'm gonna have to call this because I'm almost done Man, I'm disappointed. Sapporo, come on. Like, you're great. I'm guessing... Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I am so tipsy.
Take your time.
I'm gonna just call it.
I have an idea what we could talk about, because as you said earlier, the first beer you had was a pulled pork sandwich. What is your favorite drunk food?
Favorite drunk food? Oh. Yeah, I guess so, maybe. I want to say I got drunk off of this, but there's nothing better than a really nice salty food to go with the beer. I'm just saying right now, I was about to say that I'm very disappointed. I got myself a can of Sapporo, which is a Japanese beer, and it's not as delicious as I remember it being. And I'm like, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this beer? Normally it tastes so good with my ramen bowl of very salty broth. Because once you have that, I don't know how it does this, but once you eat the ramen bowl, you take a sip of Sapporo premium beer, it becomes... Like right now I'm just drinking it plain with nothing, and it's... it's fine. But with a brothy, salty ramen bowl, it becomes sweet, decadent, it's delicious. It becomes magic in your mouth. So, I would say a nice bowl of ramen, please, and thank you. Send it from Germany.
We do not have good ramen here. Get your own. Germany,
you know what? I think I will.
It's very lacking in good Asian food. Grace,
what do you do?
We struggle to find good.
What do you do there for drunk food? Venus? Wurst?
Wurst!
I'm just saying what little German that I know.
Well, technically, if you are in Berlin, the best thing to get is 3 a.m. night kebab.
Oh! Yeah, kebabs!
Hot, spicy sauce.
How could I forget?
Like it has to drizzle oil.
Yeah, you have to get it from the shadiest folks. Like, you don't know where the meat came from, but it's 3 a.m. and nobody else is open. So you get it anyway.
Well, the two things which are open on a weekend in Berlin at 3 a.m. is the kebab stores, or the Döner stores as we call them, and the Spätis, which is stores which are open late into the night, which sell alcohol, tobacco, and snacks. everything you need at 3 a.m. in the morning.
that does nothing. No, you need a kebab at that point.
Exactly.
In Bristol, there's a kebab place, a doner place, called Jason Doner Van.
Ooh.
It's a pun on Jason Donovan, who is a Hollywood star, but they call it Doner Van, and I think it's genius. And they're always open at 3 a.m. when you're on your way home, and you're like, you know what would be a really good idea right now? A good snack. I wonder what they got at the Doner Van.
Well.
Oh, man.
That's the best. That's the best one. It's hands down. You're finishing your pub crawl. You just want to get home, and you just see the delicious sign, Döner Kebab.
Yeah.
$3.50.
Oh, you know what?
Like, oh, yes.
Pub crawls are harder to do in Toronto because like pubs are just really far out.
Oh no! In Berlin, they are all over shop.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Like, okay, we have concentrated areas like Friedrichshain, Kreuzberg, Wedding, Neukölln, where you have like a lot of stores and a lot of shops or bars. It's very gentrified, but all over Berlin, with the exception of maybe the bigger living areas or the bigger industrial areas, you will find pubs and you will find doner shops. They are everywhere. And Berlin, as far as I'm aware, is the only city so far which keeps its public transport system uninterrupted from Friday night to Sunday morning. Because they know exactly how Berlins think. Like,
so your public transit system runs 24/7 during the weekend hours?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, in Toronto they close at like a certain time and then they open 4 hours later. But wow, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean during the week, like during the work week, between Monday and Friday, they close shop between 1:30 a.m. and 4:30 a.m.
Yeah.
But on the weekend, everything drives. It drives a little bit slower, but it will still drive because they know exactly what Berlin people do.
I'm pretty sure they're going to run it a little slower too, just because they know there are going to be a lot of people horrifically drunk, and they can't handle things going too fast. You know what I mean?
Actually, that is not exactly true. I mean...
Come on, Ludwig, I'm trying here.
Every time we talk about beer culture between America or the States, I don't know what is it about Canada and Germany, I always have the feeling Canadian or American people are in there for the hard and fast rush. They just want to get super drunk super quick.
Huh.
The Germans, we are here for the long haul. We will get trashed. Yes. But we have so much experience in getting trashed.
Oh my god.
Then we decide, alright, here's a bar, let's have a couple of drinks, let's move to the next bar, let's dance for 2 hours, have a couple of drinks, let's move to the next one, and suddenly it's 4 a.m. in the morning and you need a kebab.
Oh my god. It's a conspiracy then within Germany.
No, I think it's at this point it's genetically anchored. It's like our livers are just it's just a third bigger than the Canadian liver.
Oh man!
You're being born and immediately your liver is like, all right, time to do work.
Ludwig, I don't know if I can keep talking anymore. I am feeling the beer and 3/4. I'm gonna call it. Are you okay with that?
Cool.
I know you're still not drunk.
I'm tipsy.
But yeah, good. I'm glad. I miss you, man. I wish we will one day share drinks again in person. But this has been Our Relationship 2. My name is Felix. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at ComposerFA. Ludwig, you can't find him anywhere, but
because I'm still a caveman.
He's a caveman, but I know his address. And one day he'll give you a beer tour. Maybe one day soon. This has been Our Relationship 2. Hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.